Good morning, Britain. Cleared for takeoff. Vaccinated Brits could be on Spanish beaches in weeks, but you'll need a COVID passport. How will it all work? The Transport Secretary joins us live after 8. Taking your hands off the wheel, self-drive cars are given the green light and could be on Britain's roads by the end of this year. But following recent crashes in America, are they really safe? Facing calls to come clean, did Boris lie about his bodies piled up comments? Who paid for renovations to his Downing Street flat, and did he promise them anything in return? So many questions still unanswered. The pressure on the PM intensifies. And preparing for the biggest night in British music, thousands of fans will be allowed into the O2 for the Brit Awards next month without masks and no social distancing. This morning, the show's host Jack Whitehall joins us live after 7.
It is another day of sunshine and showers and feeling cold in the wind, and it stays that way for most of us for the rest of the week. All the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
Wednesday, 28th of April, 2021. Live from Television Centre in London. This is Good Morning Britain with Ranveer Singh.
Good morning, it is 6 o'clock. We're with you all the way through until 9. Adil and Susanna here from 6:30. Loads in the news this morning. Let's get to our top story then. And Spain says it will welcome British holidaymakers back to its beaches in June. If the
I think the first port of call is blame, because I think the language around miscarriage, you missed something. It's just always so negative. A failed pregnancy, an incompetent cervix. It just goes on and on. How did you lose the baby?
Yes.
And so immediately the first thing you do is you look inwardly, and that's a part of the reason that I wanted to make this documentary, because you already feel like you failed. And you look for that safety in numbers with other women who've been through this, just to know and just to not, feel that it was something that you did, exactly. And that you did do everything you possibly could.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because I remember at the time, it was over 20 years ago now when it happened to me, but, I think people were trying to reassure me, and they were saying, oh, this is very common. And this happens to, 1 in 3 women.
This happened to you?
Yeah.
And as a pumpkin or turn your dachshund into Dracula. The shops are full of outfits perfect for your four-legged friend. And Dr. Scott is here with us now with his pick of the best and some advice around Halloween, because that's important too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I must say, I absolutely love Halloween. I really do. There's a great sense of community spirit. It's really, there's not very often that you go around your neighbourhood. It's safe. You can bring the kids out. They're meeting loads of their friends. You're seeing all your mates who have got kids. You're knocking on doors of neighbours that you maybe don't say hi to. People make an effort. So I really enjoy it. I know it's very commercial, but if you look past that, the community spirit is wonderful, so please do get involved. But I would say, be careful with your pets, particularly your dogs. A lot of them are quite noise-phobic. There's a lot of flashes. There's some strange outfits that can be quite scary.
Stacey and Joe have finally announced the name of their week-old baby girl. There she is, gorgeous. She is called Rose Opal Esme Solomon Swash. They call her their precious jewel. Her middle name, Opal, has got special significance, actually, for Stacey and Joe, because Opal is Stacey's birthstone, and Rose was actually born on Stacey's birthday, so that's now her birthstone, which is how lovely. And then Stacey's engagement ring has got 2 Australian opals, because that's where she and Joe met, didn't they? On I'm
so romantic, isn't it?
Oh, wow, that's so carefully thought through, isn't it? It's unbelievable. I love that.
So we want to say congratulations, obviously, to Joe and Stacey and Rose and that beautiful baby girl. But then we were talking about middle names.
Who are the enemies of the Autobots?
Decepticons.
Correct. The expression "how's that" comes from which sport?
Cricket?
Correct. Well done. And you've passed over 30 seconds on to Louise. You have 5 questions to answer correctly. You have 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. What flavour is the filling in a Mississippi mud pie?
Pass.
Chocolate. The adjective gastric relates to what organ of the body?
Stomach.
Correct. What is the currency of Mexico?
Peso.
Correct. What company makes the GameCube and Wii?
Oh, Sony.
Nintendo.
Kenny G.
Yes, it is. Sharon, do you want to play or pass?
I'm going to play. Drop zone 1, please.
Let's have drop zone 1 for Sharon, please. Mystery on the bottom, that double coming down would be fun. Go on, Sharon, let's see what you got. Steady drop. Yeah, right behind the double.
Oh.
Are they going to go? Oh, they're very close, Sharon.
I was just hanging on the end.
Just a bit too much weight on them, isn't there?
Never mind.
Sharon, your first counter goes into the machine. Nothing drops just yet. Next question. Cheddar cheese originates from which country in the UK? Bob.
England.
Of course it is. Bob, you're going to play.
Drop zone
ready?
1.
Yeah.
Your time starts now. What dairy product is paired with onion in a classic crisp flavour?
Cheese.
Correct. What indoor sport has a court with a service box and a short line?
Squash.
Correct. In the USA, National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day is in what month?
December.
Correct. Who defeated Ted Heath in the 1975 Tory party leadership contest?
Margaret Thatcher.
Correct. Airline life jackets are usually stored whereabouts on the plane?
Under the seats.
Correct. Literally translated as of law, what Latin legal term means by right?
Sub judice.
De jure. In The Simpsons, who is the mother of Bart, Lisa and Maggie?
Marge.
Correct. In 1985, the UK's...
Tonight, lockdown is over for London's gyms and beauticians. In the latest relaxing of measures, they'll be open to customers from next week. Also on the programme, eyewitness footage of the aftermath of the crane collapse in Bow as the 85-year-old victim is named. Busted making fake COVID cure kits, a man is sentenced after a police sting. And animal emergency as the RSPCA says it will have to close 4 of its hospitals.
You know, without these services there, I just don't see how animal welfare can be managed at the same rate it is now.
Good evening, I'm Duncan Golostani.
Trapped in mould-infested homes with nowhere to turn for help. Tenants in damp and unhealthy housing tell us they aren't being listened to, with a complex complaint system that leaves them powerless.
This is like the normal for them. How sad's that? They've got the world in front of them and they only know mould and throwing away their stuff.
Also tonight, world leaders unite over climate change, but how will our lives have to change to really make a difference? Apartheid in death, the government apologises for failing to honour tens of thousands of black and Asian troops who died fighting for the British Empire. And Mason, the emotional support dog, bringing some much-needed relief to NHS staff burned out battling the pandemic.
This is the ITV Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. ITV News has uncovered more shocking examples of squalid housing across Britain, with tenant after tenant telling us no one cares or listens.
And guess what? You won!
No way! I'm Hans hero. Wow, that's amazing.
They won an interview, publicity, everything.
Ah, it's made my day, that. Come over here. Let me wrap my big brave arms around you.
Sure. I can't think of anything better.
I am so sorry I'm late.
No, it's fine. Lou and Elsie just got here.
Imran mentioned you'd had a disagreement. Oh, something and nothing. Just arguing about what to make Elsie for a tea. It's forgotten now.
That's good to hear.
So, where is she? Got a little surprise for her. Elsie?
Section.
Mona, I'm still searching.
Flying with Air India, sir. Sir, please quickly, sir. The flight is closing. Romeo 1 on 112. There is another buggy coming down now. Passengers have just got to the gate.
We got a description of the last two. I think he's rolling through.
The last passenger arrives with seconds to spare.
That's the last one. Last one's made it to the gate as well, so...
See you too.
Now, we're here because Flynn wrote us this passionate letter saying how his mum really needed a new garden. So how does that make you feel?
Proud as punch. Really, he's such a good lad. He does me proud every day.
So you're not a terrible teen at all then, really, Flynn?
Can be. I have my moments.
Now, you're a paramedic?
I am, yeah.
Which involves what?
So I'm a community paramedic now. I work with the NHS.
Fabulous, absolutely wonderful. Sandals in the Caribbean. St. Lucia, that was great. That was a week. So it never ends. Stuff coming all the time.
And tie breaks? Are you good at tie breaks?
I've won one with a tie break.
Right.
Are you ready? I can tell you what
Go
it
on,
was. You had to say what sight, sound or smell reminds you of your childhood.
OK.
I said, seeing children playing with conkers. I used to soak mine in vinegar. It drove my mother bonkers.
Oh. Seeing children play with conkers. I used to soak mine in vinegar. It drove my mother bonkers.
There you are.
How wonderful. Tell me your top tips, then.
People you know will take drugs and drive a car.
Without question, yeah.
It transcends class and social status.
The pop singer was jailed last month after admitting driving while unfit through drugs. He'd been found slumped at the wheel of his car.
There's no doubt that real progress has been made in the war against drink driving over the past 30 years or so. But throughout that time, the problem of drug driving has passed largely under the radar. This evening, I'll be asking why and whether a new front can be opened in the battle to make our road network a safer place. Rachel Ward was a bright, popular young woman with her whole life.
Slow, but irreversible. The Prime Minister confirmed today he'd be easing restrictions cautiously, but he insisted this lockdown should be the last.
We want this lockdown to be the last, and we want progress to be cautious, but also irreversible.
Also on News at 10 tonight. They promise all the over 50s vaccinated by the end of April, but at the current rate it should be quicker than that. So what is the potential delay?
This side is the closet, and then the bathroom is very, very basic.
Hotel quarantine begins for arrivals from red list countries. Harry and Meghan agree a sit-down interview with Oprah to talk about everything. Yikes. As protests grow, Myanmar's military extend the detention of the nation's democratic leader, Aung San Suu Kyi. The triumph of the human sausage. Joss Stone on winning ITV's hit show, The Masked Singer.
I'm going to base all my decisions on, like, a happiness scale. And if it's over 5, I'll do it. And if it ain't, I'm not going to do it.
And Larry the Downing Street Cat celebrates 10 years, vanquishing all enemies.
This is ITV News at 10 with Tom Bradby.
Good evening. For a host of reasons, not all under government control, the past year of fighting the coronavirus seems to have been characterised by one step forward, followed by 2 deadly or economically crippling steps back.
Yo, oh. Exactly. You get him.
Casey.
Spider.
A spider. Imagine. Spider. Okay. Is that on the board? Our service says? Spider. Top answer. Well done, Casey. Now the question is, are you going to play this or we're going to give it to the Garvey family?
We're going to play.
You sure?
Oh, should we?
Yes, you said it now. Back to the families. I don't think your dad was very happy. Talking, why are we playing? Why are we playing? Why are we playing? I don't want to play. Please, name an insect that you don't want to see in your bed.
A wasp.
Descent. Dean, you must bounce the ball once on each of the 2 columns so that it descends into the target container. Just 2 bounces and in for £50,000. Do you want to play?
That's the first time you've groaned.
Yeah, this is definitely a game I'm less happy about.
Why?
It's just one you can't practice at home. You've got no idea what the bounce of the ball is going to be. You can end up losing a life.
You do have £20,000. This is for £50,000.
Anyway, so if the question was, who's the best dancer, then the public would almost certainly, say Arlene. They put Arlene at the top. But what you don't realise, though, is you'd be wrong, because I've seen Omid's worm backstage. And I'll tell you something, it was very impressive.
Come on, let's see it.
Not that worm. You're good at the worm, aren't you?
I'm good at the worm, yeah, not as good as it is.
This is fabulous, never seen that like it in my life.
As autumn rolls in, fields across the country are packed with bright orange pumpkins. Nowhere more so than here in Pontefract, West Yorkshire.
Ironically, this year has been fantastic for growing pumpkins. This would have been our most phenomenal crop we've ever had, which is typical when you have COVID and we're restricted on numbers. But no, the crop has been excellent this year. They are not just for Halloween. They'll actually last till March. So I've got a lot of people have been saving the little baby ones for Christmas, the white ones, you know, for Christmas table decorations.
Now, despite the amazing crop here...
Best of luck to you all. Let's play Rolling in It. Now, we've got loads of lanes. We've got loads of money. Wherever the coin lands, that's how much each question is worth. Now, the boards, look, they're locked in. The questions are locked in and the coins are all ready to go. Now, I am going to roll the first coin to see how much money you're going to get in your prize pot to kick you off. Here we go. Wish me luck. It's off! Oh, well, oh, don't tell me. Please, tell me I've done it. Come on, give me a great start for it. £1,000. Right, here's the deal. I've got 15 questions.
It needs to be safe, it needs to be effective, but most of all, it needs to be fun. Now, I'm joined this morning again, or today again, with my better half, Palmer, I call her, or wife or lover. But here we go. Let's put that music on. Let's get working out, and then we talk about age UK as we go along. So we're going to pump that music up, all right. So we're going to start with the legs apart. If you're sitting down, you just basically follow what Miss Palmer's doing. Shoulders up and down. Let's go up. Now, you notice I'm using some dumbbells today. Miss Palmer is using some cans. Here we go.